Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Thinking Thursday from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum. My name is Sarah, and I'm the Education Coordinator at the museum. And for today's Thinking Thursday, we are going to show you how to do an online crossword puzzle for one of our online virtual exhibits that we have through the museum. Now, this is a great way for you to not only explore exhibits that we have at the museum, but this is a great way to engage kids in the classroom or different people that you're working with if you want them to explore an exhibit. Now, we do have exhibits set up in the museum and we rotate them on a pretty regular basis. And while we rotate those exhibits, it's always kind of hard to see an exhibit go down, especially if we have one that's sparked a lot of interest in the past and we've had a lot of good feedback from. But it's always nice to get those new exhibits in so that we can keep things fresh and exciting for people to learn new things every time they come in. So we are very fortunate to be able to put some of the exhibits that we take down in the museum in an online virtual setting. And so today I'm going to show you where you can find our online virtual exhibits. And I'm also going to show you this activity that I have planned and created to go with a specific exhibit. So to get started, we are going to go to our museum page, and I'm already on that web page right now. If you go to the SDSU website, you can search for us right here at the top, or a super simple way is to just type in agmuseum.com and go to that website, and it will direct you right to here. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to our right-hand side navigation panel over here. First, I'm going to show you where you can find all of our online virtual exhibits. That way that if you want to explore other exhibits that we have, you can feel free to do that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click on exhibits over here. And this page is going to load. Once it has loaded, you can scroll down and you can see that we have some different things on this web page. You can see what exhibits that we currently have up in the museum. You can also see a list of past exhibits if you'd like to explore those and just see a short synopsis or write-up about what those exhibits are. And then we have two exhibits that we have in the online format right now. We have our Unspun Tale Sheep in South Dakota exhibit up. And then the exhibit we're working with today is actually the Groundbreakers Exhibit, which focuses on early agricultural scientists and engineers of SDSU. So I'm going to go ahead and click this open so you can see what we're talking about here. When you open up an exhibit in our virtual platform, it will load a lot of different things on this page. You can see we've got a nice title banner here for what the exhibit is and a short little description of it. And as you scroll down, you'll see that here we have kind of the intro panel for the exhibit and what the exhibit's all about. And if you continue to scroll, you can see we have different pictures of different documents and artifacts and photographs that we have to match with our exhibit. And then we also have the information with it as well. And so you can see as I keep scrolling here, the pictures will stay up for a while and then they'll rotate to a new one. But I'll just scroll down through a little bit of the beginning of this exhibit here. It's so much fun to look at some of these pictures that you might not normally get to see and explore this exhibit for different reasons that you might want to find some information for. And so that's just a short synopsis. Like I said, if you look over here on the right-hand side of my page, I'm only about a fourth of the way through this virtual exhibit. So we've got a lot of information here. I'll just quickly scroll down through the bottom. There is so much on here and a lot of great and wonderful information so that you can see what this exhibit was all about. And then we're down at the end. So that is what our virtual exhibits look like. Now I am going to go back to our main web page here. And now we're going to go to the education page so I can show you our activity for this week. I'm going to click the drop down arrow next to education over here on the right hand side, and I'm going to go to our Thinking Thursday page. On this page, you'll see all the different Thinking Thursday activities you've done since our temporary closure started in March. And today we're focusing on the July 16th, 2020 activity, which is the Groundbreakers online exhibit crossword puzzle. So I'm going to click that link. When I click on that link, it will bring us to our activity page. You can see that I've got a short synopsis here of what I talked about at the very beginning of our video. And then you can see I have a helpful video spot right here, which is actually what we're recording right now. So that will get plugged into there once we get everything done. And then I have links to a few different things that you'll need to complete this activity. This first link here is to the online Groundbreakers exhibit, which I've already showed you, but I'll bring that page up again just so you remember what it is. So you can see that that is all loaded, and all the information that you'll need to complete our crossword puzzle you can actually find right on this website. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to our page for our activity. And then you can see the second link here in this sentence is the link to the crossword puzzle on Educaplay, which is a platform that we can use to create different online learning activities. And so as you can see, this is already loaded up and ready to go. You can do this in a few different ways when this gets loaded. As you can see, you can hit a start button right here, and it will bring you up the virtual puzzle right here. And you can see it starts already. Here's a highlighted word for up and down, and the word is highlighted over here. The description is over here on the side. And so you can read through that description, go to the exhibit webpage, read through the content there, and then type in that answer. I know that this answer is, in fact, seeds. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in, and you can see that that filled in all of my boxes here. Now, if you're working through this and you're having some issues on finding an answer or having trouble with spelling something, you can always have a few hints here. So you have the show letter hint. So it will, you can click, you can see that in the yellow bar here, there's one box that's a little bit darker. You can choose to show the letter in the box that's highlighted. Or you can choose to just show the whole word if you are having problems finding that word. So you can see that that pulled up and it says STEAM engineering. And now you can see that as I've pulled up some of those hints, my score has gone down here at the top. So especially if you're a teacher who is working with this and you're having your students do this, if you want to have it graded, that's definitely an option you can do, and you can see how that score changes there. Otherwise, you can just do it for completion points too, which is totally fine. So you can go through and fill in all of these words. And then at the bottom here, you have this check button. And you can see that I have a lot of red things right now because I have a lot of blank spaces. But once you fill in all of these words and fill in all the spaces and get all the answers correct, you hit this check button and it will come up with another web page that has everything in on there, and it can show you all the right answers, which is wonderful. I've also gone ahead, when you hit that check button and it's all 100% correct, it brings you to the answer key, and then you can also choose to read more information about each one of these answers and fill that in yourself. So this is one way to complete the crossword puzzle. If you are a teacher and you want to have a printed version of this, or you're doing this at home and you rather have a printed version of this for yourself too, you can scroll down a little bit and you can see this little printer icon, and when I hover over it, you can see that it shows the word print. So I can click on this icon and you can see that it'll take a second here to load. But it has now given you a version of this where it has the boxes for the crossword puzzle and all of the different clues here at the bottom. And so if you'd rather have a printed version of this, you can have this generated and go ahead and print that out. So that is how you go through and find not only the online exhibit needed for this crossword puzzle, but also find the information on how to fill in the crossword puzzle. And that is this week's Thinking Thursday activity. If you have any questions about this activity or anything else at the museum, you can feel free to contact me. Again, my name is Sarah and I'm the education coordinator. And we hope to see you next week for another episode of Thinking Thursday at the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum.